Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. We added two more examples to the folio examples. We will start with this one. Run a model from IDE with a remote Okapi. We will not use the automation script. We will run our mod inventory from the IDE in IntelliJ, which I use, the IDE I use, when connected to a remote Okapi, which will be the folio snapshot. And the use case for this example is when is actually the most use case, most examples the developer will use when he work with the folio environment in his local machine. He wanna add a feature in one module specifically, so he will not be interested to run Okapi locally and connect it to his own module. He will utilize the already up and running Okapi on the remote on his development environment, for example, or staging or QA or any environment you work with. So we will use Folio Snapshot as our cloud remote Okapi running instance. And let's go to the module. I will stop everything because I tested the module before behind the scenes. We are in Ramson's version 21.05, and here is our configuration. If we open it, we have our launcher. Okay, this is the main class org.folio.inventory launcher. Okay, it exists in our project structure here, and the vertical for the running vertical will be inventory vertical. Also exists in our project directory here, and we have our environment variables. We have our database environment variables. We can add our Kafka as well because we are connected to Kafka. So let's add it here. The value will be localhost. And if we add another one for the port number, we have Kafka port, which is 992. Okay, very good. And this one is for running the module on this environment, 8081. This is not the default port in the mod inventory. They are running on some other port, 9400, I remember. So to overwrite the default port which mod inventory uses, we added our JDK Java options environment variable to overwrite that port with these options. Okay, you can actually add arguments directly yourself. You can, for example, if we add our VM options, you can write your arguments here directly, as we did in the environment variables, but to be consistent and for more use cases, because you can use this approach in the environment variable in a Docker environment. It's more easier to manipulate your options using environment variable. So I did use the environment variable because it's more useful when running in a Docker environment. You cannot directly change the arguments by yourself. Okay, these are our configuration, nothing more. We can now start running the module. You see, we picked up our environment variable. Everything runs smoothly, no problems. Let's go to Postman, let's test it. We can enable our module in case that module has a database. This database will be created in your local machine. In our case, mod inventory doesn't have a database. If we switched mod inventory with mod inventory storage, we may see the database in our local machine, but it's not that important. We need to enable because we working. Our module is working in our local machine. So if is there any database should be created, so we need this database. So we need to enable the module first before start working with that module. So I will enable that module. If we go here are the logs. I think we are finished. Yes, we are finished. Now we can log in first. We will log in on our folio snapshot Okapi remote or remote Okapi instance. I did it before. I will remove the response, start over again. Here are our body. We have our username, deco admin, and the password is admin. Yes. And the login has been run successfully. I don't know why, but the cookies didn't appear here, so I specifically used the Okapi token header and specified the Okapi URL to connect to the Okapi instance. It's very important if you work on your local module solely or alone without any environment. As you see here, we are reaching out the module directly, not the Okapi instance. So we will need to add this header. It's very important. And for this module, we also need to specify the user ID header. It will not take it from the token. It exists in the token, but as we see here, we are going directly to the module. So the module itself cannot extract the user ID from the token. We should add it as a header directly here. And we did get the ID from the token. If you go to jwt.io and paste the token there, you will see at the right hand side, I remember the claims, the token payload, JWT token payload. You will find the user ID there. You can put it here, and our tenant, deco, our token. This comes from our previous login request we did before here, and our Okapi URL and our user ID, and that's it. We can start sending our request. Now if you go there, you will see our logs. We are hitting the get request inventory instances, and we did get a response from folio snapshot from the remote Okapi. These instances doesn't exist in my local machine. It comes directly from Okapi because we used the Okapi URL from folio snapshot, and the token is valid because we did log in with the folio snapshot Okapi instance, so it will be valid when we run our module, our request to our module. It will be used as a valid token. Okay. This example, you can do it for any module you want. Some modules will not need to add user ID. Some modules doesn't care about this. Okay, and the other three headers are necessary. You should have these headers for each module minimum. You can add, like we did here, the user ID header. Maybe other headers will be needed for some modules, but in general, we need only three headers: the tenant, token, and URL. Okay, thank you, and see you in the next one.